G'day guys, welcome back to the Quick Gaming Gossip. We have Najaf here with me today, and we're going to talk everything there is to do about the Illuvitar Displate sales. Both of us have done a video very recently on this. There's been a discussion in the Discord, and a few other people have put some posts out on Twitter. But we'll say hello to Najaf before we go over to that. How are you doing today, mate?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I saw that discussion, and then right away I watched your video on it, and I was just like, "Oh, this is a really cool idea." So I'm glad that you asked me to come on the channel and talk about it some more.
Yeah, well, whenever I find a topic that I want to talk about, I try and find someone that has not the person that's posted about that topic on, and put someone that's put a different view about that topic, bring them up to talk about it. Just having multiple views on the same sort of topic and some different views, because I know you've talked about more renting the Illuvitars rather than just having as something you can do on the site to buy the discs. But we'll just show my Twitter post up first that I talked about the price points. I might zoom in just a touch. As you can
Yeah,
see, I've did a Twitter
just
post with.
okay. I was gonna say, like, just on top of this, I've heard, like, I think you should have put in the 75 plus question mark
Yeah,
plus, like, what anybody would want to set.
yeah. In hindsight, after looking at this at the end and a few more comments, I should have the 75 plus zero. I don't even know why anyone voted for that. I'm guessing that's people that had never bought the disc plates and aren't going to be selling them.
Yeah.
There should have been one $75 plus whatever the person that's selling them wants to be. And since putting this up, I feel like that's probably it's either that or the $25. I believe it should be up to the seller. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, we can get into this in a little bit. I've kind of pushed it towards like a whole like lending system idea or renting, where you would just basically you would choose your own. I mean, if you have a ram fire like you have, I think you'd be able to get more out of it than, like, say someone really liked your I don't know, your Atlas.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think somebody's going to pay an extra $25 to get that. But if they really want your ram fire, they might be willing to pay $25 for that. So I think it should be up to the person renting it out, like knowing how valuable and rare their Illuvitar is, and then setting a price for it.
Yes, it's just the same as the Illuvitar sales. Just that meta game of finding that that good point of, yeah, I can sell it, but I'm not selling so many of them. People do want to buy it. It's not too high, and it just again just add gamifies really the sales of the discs. And I don't know how many Ramfire. Do you know how many Ramfires got pulled in this first wave?
I don't know total. I know I've looked at like blazing ram fires. I think
Yeah,
there's only about less than 25 blazing ram fires.
yeah,
Um, and then obviously that's the most rare one. So once you go further down, I don't know, maybe 100. It
yeah. So look,
That
there's
sound
there's
right
100
total?
there that potentially
Yeah.
people could sell. Obviously, it has to be an opt-in. It can't just be I click on their Illuvitar and I can buy it. It needs to be up to the seller to put it up as a price at first. And I know I'll bring up the Viper tweet that um, talked about that. Just people do need to opt in, and a few people were commenting on this like, no, this needs to be up to the seller. But I think that needs to be prefaced very highly that this is all up to the owner. They put it up for sale. You can't just go and click on any Illuvitar and just go, I want this.
Mhm.
You obviously agree with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the person who has this Illuvitar right here,
Yeah.
that's a one of one. Like, clearly, I mean, I'm pretty sure there
Yeah,
might
I
be
don't
one
think there's
other.
another hollow blazing ramfire, is there?
Yeah, you're right. I think there is two of them. One's alpha, one's non-alpha.
Yeah, true.
But
Yep.
but maybe this person doesn't want anyone else to have that disc. You know.
100%.
But on that topic too, I saw Rogier say that you'll be able to click on these and see how many prints came, like, they were used for, right? Did you see that?
I haven't seen that, but I think that's a really valuable thing to do. The other some other people were saying that you should only limit it to 5 prints or something like that, and I'm like, no, that maybe for your lower ones that might work, but I think if you don't want them to be so dispersed, say you can only do 10 a month or something like that, so people
Yeah.
aren't putting them at like 1 cent or something, like something stupid. Um,
Yeah. I
but I
don't think
think
there should be any restrictions on that. I think whoever's putting it up can do what they want.
yeah,
And you know what? When it comes to looking at the NFT and being able to see how many times it was used in a print, you could look at that two ways. You could say something that doesn't have any prints makes the physical disc maybe worth a little bit more. But you could also say like, if your Illuvitar is that popular and you have 1,000 prints of it
yeah,
out there, then it's showing how valuable it is and how much people like it. So that could actually raise the value.
yes. Whereas there's 0 sales, you might have priced it too high, or it's just something that people don't want.
Yeah,
Um,
or that Illuvitar ends up on the market. You can see like, wow, 1,000 people
yeah,
have bought
I can
this,
make
so
money
I
off
can
this.
use. Yeah, I could. This could be passive income. So maybe I'll
Yeah,
buy this because more people are going to want to use it.
100%. I think that's an awesome feature that could be implemented there. I hadn't even thought of that. I hadn't seen it anywhere, but yeah, I think that's a really good point to have the sale or the extra sales right next to it.
Yep.
Like when I'm thinking about it, I don't know how to. I'm not a dev. I don't know how to organize anything like this on that side, but I really don't feel like it would take that long to implement a opt-in system and then like a buy disk system onto the Illuvidex. I, do you know anything about any of that, or
So and that's one of the struggles of just being on this strategy sub council right now too, because there are so many ideas that I'm trying to bring to the table, but I don't know what it takes to actually develop.
yeah,
Um, but I do think it could be something fairly easier. But the reason why in my video I brought up the idea of like the whole lending system is that you could come up with a concept similar to what you're talking about, but have it do so much more. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just limit it to you're kind of renting this Illuvitar to print a disc. Like I think you could do so much more with that technology. You know?
no, 100%. As you talked about in your video, I'll post. I'll obviously link the video down below for anyone that hasn't watched it. But like once you go into renting, you can sleeve that in your album. You can have that as your avatar that you use throughout all of the games. Someone that has 4 Ramfires, what else are they going to be doing with it other than holding it for value? And maybe the value doesn't go up, but you can rent it and make passive income. Like that's 3 major points right there that benefits the owner and the
Yep.
renter the whole time. And rent doesn't have to be that high. $10 a month, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
In on my video, I definitely got some pushback in the comments, basically saying like, oh, like they don't like the idea of you being able to rent in a Illuvitar to put into your album that could possibly get you like into the leaderboards. Um, it, but here's something that I forgot to say in my video that I think is another good thing to think about. Say you're somebody who just you don't have the funds to get into the top 100. Like the leaderboard rewards are completely out of range, but like you luckily got a Ramfire, or maybe you just really love fire alluvial, so you're just going to collect all fire Illuvitars. You're not going to make that top 100, but if you're going to hold a Ramfire that has a lot of value, you might as well be able to put it up and have it rented out and say you can make $10 a week. Somebody's on that cusp of a 100. Like I said, that could be me. I need that Ramfire in my deck. I might be willing to pay $10 a month to ensure that I stay in the top 100. And then that person has some passive income coming in.
when I like
Yeah.
100%, I'm nowhere near the leaderboard. I haven't bonded one Illuvitar. Like I got 130,000 points or something
I
stupid.
could rent out yours.
But I have a Ramfire with
Yeah.
the second expression with a tier 4 background. Like it's got points in it. It's there
Yeah.
for someone to sleeve. It's not worthless in my album, but like it's not doing anything. Whereas I could
Yeah.
be making a little bit, and then down the track, if it ever gets to it, like it's worth a bit now. But if it ever gets to it down the track, which I'm hoping, it could be worth fucking heaps. and then I've earned on top of that as well. I I feel like the demand for it isn't massive right now, but I think it's
Mhm.
good that we're just having conversations early. And someone else said, like, the way that Illuvium Beyond has worked, it's just the test point for everything. It's
Yeah.
the first time you have a sale. Well, we had land, but on the Illuvidex, it's the Illuvidex. It's everything's getting implemented in the Illuvium Beyond, where the risk is minimal. Yeah, we lost a few hours in the sale because of a few things, but you just extend the stay a little bit. I know people had push back on that, but the risk is minimal. Whereas if you go online to a game straight off the bat with blockchain, you can cause yourself some pretty big issues there. So I think Illuvium Beyond is a great place to implement that renting system that then could
Yeah.
be taken into land or Illuvitar,
Yeah.
actual alluvials. So
Yeah. And the other thing you got to consider when it comes to the Illuvitars is that there is some sort of plan out there for like a card game with the Illuvitars.
yeah,
And if a lending system is going to allow you to, or like a renting system is going to allow you to rent those Illuvitars to play the game, why wouldn't it allow you to play the other game, which is the collection of the album? So
hmm
I think it would be harder to come up with a solution that says like you can only use it for certain things and not other things. Um,
you just
I don't know. It's
you
just another thing to consider.
rent it. It's in my wallet now. But there's a
Yep.
smart contract to say that it's your wallet and I have to give you $10 a month.
Yep.
I think that contract thing is probably the hardest thing that needs to come up, but I feel like the rest of it might be easy. But what do I know? I'm just a stupid little content creator that talks about stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But we'll go over to one more thing from Twitter, and it's just
Yeah.
Roger posting in Viper's thing. I know for a fact that this is in the to-do future list for Illuvium Beyond, and Kieran's like very far into the future. Obviously, we can put in an IP to bring it forward, but as people have discussed many a times, the demand just isn't there for it now. I don't think it will outweigh the cost that it takes to actually build this. And someone else just asked, "What stops me doing it now?" There's literally nothing that stops you from doing it now. I could send you, well, you could send me your address, and I could buy one on my site, and I send it to your address instead of mine. Like it could be done easily like that,
Yeah.
but it's not trustless. You need
They,
to have
and
trust.
that's the big thing. That's what I even said in my video. Like just in the situation with me and you, like you have that ram fire. If we completely trusted each other, you could just send that to my wallet.
Yeah,
I could pay you $10 a month, and there it is. It's but coming up with a trustless system is what's going to make it work.
one hundred
You know?
percent. I know for other NFTs there is starting to become lending systems like this. I'm not sure if you'd be able to do it with the Illuvitars because it's on IMX and Illuvidex and all that kind of stuff. Um, but it is interesting that it is out there with other NFTs that you can let other people hold them and you pay them for you as it's kind of collateral like stocks
Yep.
and such like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it is out there. Hopefully it comes around soonish because I want to start making money off my Ramfire. And I actually had someone else in one of my ones post a slapping that had like a halo, got like it was a hollow slapping with the like it looked mint and slap. I was like, to be honest, I'd literally buy one of those. It looks sick.
Yeah.
It looks so good. I'll probably put it up here when I do the edit, but yeah, it looks so good. And the thing is, with how small the Illuvitar pictures are, you can't copy and paste it because the quality is terrible. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing they've done it on purpose because now people can't go out and do it themselves.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll probably wrap this up now. That was a good little chat. We've kind of combined our forces right here. But thanks for coming on, Najafe, and you can say goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on again, and I'm gonna have you back on the Illuvium rundown at some point in the near future. I know this is our time zones are so screwed up, so this is hard to find a good time. But I'm glad we did, and this was a great chat.
Thanks again, mate. Go and follow him everywhere. I'll put all these links down below. But that is it for today, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
Later.